Hello, Yawning Angel here with another video, but this one is unplanned and unscripted, so it's a bit take it as you find it. Basically, I've got a bit of a dilemma and I've come up with a bit of a solution, but I thought I'd video it because this may be of use to somebody else who's trying to do this as well. So here's the issue. I'm trying to get video footage from my Amiga out into the OSSC and into my laptop so I can record the footage and use in future videos. Now I know this can be done, that's not a problem. But what I want to do at the same time is get that same video feed from the Amiga that's coming into the laptop. I want to get it pushed back out to my monitor. But here's the rub. This monitor is VGA only. I've got no other way of getting a video feed into that. So I've come up with a bit of a solution that involves various splitters and adapters, and I'm going to put it all together and see if it works. Like I said, there must be somebody else out there who's having the same problem or the same thoughts. So this video may be of use to someone else in terms of what kit you might need to buy and how we'll do it. I have no idea if this is going to work. So let's just go on this journey together and see what happens. Oh, and just quickly, before anyone says, well, why don't you take a video feed out of the laptop and push that into the monitor? Well, yes, I could do that, but there is a delay. There's going to be latency on that, and that will annoy the bejeebers out of me and really trigger my OCD. So I'm trying to reduce the latency as much as I can. So that's the reason why I'm not doing this in a loop. So in order to do this, we're going to need some bits, and we're going to start off with the Amiga RGB to SCART cable. Then we're going to use an HDMI splitter box. Follow that up with an HDMI to VGA adapter. Then we're going to use the SCART junction box. And of course, we're going to need to use the OSSC, that goes without saying. And finally, we're going to need a laptop. All good. I'd like to say a big thanks to the folks on the Big Red Arrow Discord group for giving me some suggestions as to how I might do this and what I could use, and I will put links to these products in the video description notes. Right, so the first thing to do is to check the RGB cable works okay. So I'm going to connect that to the Amiga and to the big TV off to the right of the Amiga. Another quality cable here from Retro Computer Shack. I'm not sponsored by them, I'm not paid to say anything, but I love their cables. They're absolutely brilliant, really well made. And this is another one, so this will be the third cable I've got from them now. Can't complain. Right, so let's get this out of the packet and plumb it all in. Right, this is weird. Why am I getting two split screens? That's not happy, is it? That's a brand new cable. What is going on here? I might have to change the Amiga's video mode. Let's see. Okay, changing the screen mode to normal PAL from double PAL seems to have sorted that out. I've just got to get the size right on there, but we're getting there. We're making progress. So let's have a fiddle about with some screen resolutions. Okay, so this is PAL laced. That seems to be as good as I can get on that TV. That's fine. You're probably wondering why I'm faffing about with this so much, because I need to know that the signal is correct. So when I put it into the OSSC is happy. So I know that this cable works and I know we can get a good display. So now the next step is to plumb this into the OSSC and then push it back out via HDMI into the same TV, just to check the signal there before I start plumbing in all the other adapters and whatnot. So let's get on with that now, shall we? Right, so what I'm going to do now is plumb in the OSSC. So what I've got here, so this will be the SCART cable coming from the Amiga. That is HDMI, which goes back into this TV here. And of course, the power lead for the OSSC. I'm not using the SCART junction box right now because I'm just going direct. Eventually we'll feed everything into the SCART junction box because that's the SCART for my Spectrum, and I've got my BBC one as well. So let's just get everything in vanilla to start with. So Amiga into there. We've got HDMI cable in there. We've got power in there. Let's double check that that's in. Okay, not convinced about that, but we'll give that a try. Right, we'll give that a try and see what happens. Okay, so OSSC is powered on. As you can see, that's on the screen there. That's the OSSC test card. So let's try putting it onto one. This should be, aha, I've got the Amiga. Right, okay. Yeah, I guess we didn't save that last screen resolution, but that's great. So now what I've got here is the Amiga into the OSSC, OSSC back out into the TV. So that's really good. Let me change some screen modes quickly. Okay, after some faffing about with this, I can't really get the screen as I want it, but this is good enough for now. So now let's go to the next step of doing the splitter, so I can now take the video signal into my laptop and onto the VGA monitor. So let's get busy. Okay, so I've just unboxed the two-way HDMI splitter and notice that it doesn't actually come with a power adapter, even though it needs power, but it has got cunningly this USB 5-volt power lead, so which is annoying because on Amazon, where I got this thing from, not being sponsored to say anything about them, but it actually showed a power adapter in with the package, but quite clearly that doesn't contain a power adapter. So okay, so what I'm going to do is find some power and get that plugged in. Okay, so I've managed to get power. We've got HDMI coming from the OSSC, coming into the splitter, and then the HDMI lead which is connected to the TV coming out here. Power I've got sourced via USB, which is always, you can see there, that is actually, there's power. And thankfully, I've had to take my drawer unit apart here to get to it, but I've actually got some spare USB sockets under this desk, so all good. So the next thing now is to turn it on and see if it works in this state before I put the VGA adapter on. Whew, fingers crossed. Right, let's turn everything on and see what happens. OSSC is on. There's the OSSC test card. Let's flick it onto the Amiga. Come on. Yes. So we've got Amiga into OSSC, OSSC out into splitter, splitter into TV. Now the next step is to put the splitter, to connect to the splitter, I'll get there in a minute, the VGA adapter, and then push that signal back into my VGA monitor. Whew, I'm telling you, this is hard work. Right, let's get this packet open. It's all a bit of a mess here, but we'll tidy up the cables later. I just want to prove that all this works. So let's see what's in here. Instructions. Ugh. Okay, that's bothering me. What is that for? Please don't tell me that needs to be power. Okay. Of course, if I read the instructions, I'll probably know, but what I'm assuming is I can just connect that straight in. But we might need a bit of power. I might need to read these. Back in a minute. Right, got that connected in. I've got this USB cable, I think it's some sort of charger, according to the vague instructions. So I'm just going to plug that in and see what it does. Doesn't appear to be any lights or anything on, but I don't know, we'll give that we'll give it a try. It's just a mess of cables now, but trust me when I say we're getting there. So I'm just now going to grab my VGA cable and then we can plug that in. Back in a minute. Okay, due to an error on my part, as in I forgot to press the record button while doing this next bit, I did actually manage to succeed in getting the video signal into, well, out of the OSSC, into the HDMI splitter box, into the VGA, HDMI to VGA adapter. So I now have video showing on the TV on the right-hand side and on my VGA monitor from the Amiga. So this is working really well and I was really pleased to get to this point. So now all this is done, it's time to check it to see if I can get the video feed into the laptop and the VGA monitor. Whew, this is starting to get hard work. So right now I need a cup of tea and that's what I'm going to do first. All right, hello, back again. Cup of tea time. Still got some of it left. I just wanted to get back to this. Right, so what we're looking at now, we are looking at my laptop, which is connected to all of this. HDMI cables coming out of the splitter, and what was going into the TV is now going into the video capture dongle on the laptop. So when I power up the Amiga, that should push the signal into the OSSC into all the various splitters, push the signal out to the VGA monitor, and push the signal out into the laptop. So without further ado, let's get on and switch everything on. Yay! Right, I've switched the Amiga on, completely forgot to film that, so let's just turn the monitor on. That's on. Let's turn on the OSSC. Now I'm hoping I'm going to get the test card come through on the monitor, which I have. So now let's switch that to the Amiga. Okay, good. I still haven't played around with the screen resolution. We'll come to that in a minute. Just right now it's about getting a signal. So now if I go to the laptop and set that up to record. So for anyone interested, I'm using QuickTime for the capture on my laptop. QuickTime player. Let's just do new movie recording and use USB camera. Ah ha ha, look at that. Look at that. We've got, let's go full screen on that. Oh, thank goodness for that. It's only working. Check it out. We've got the display now on the VGA monitor and being picked up by QuickTime for video recording on the laptop. It actually works. I'm so happy with that. Right, let's play around with some screen resolutions and try and capture some footage and see where we go from there. Whew. Right, so as you can see, I've got Amos Pro running on the VGA monitor and it's being fed into my laptop. I'm struggling a little bit to get Workbench resolution right, but that's going to take a bit more time. So, but the most important thing is that I can capture Amos footage. Or can I? At the moment, I've just got a video feed going in here. I'm not actually recording this. So I think what I'm going to do is start it recording on the laptop and we'll load up a program and see what happens. So let's do this. So that's set to record. I'll set the audio to there as well. Right, we are recording. So let's load. Let's have a quick load of this. And let's see. Yep, we seem to be quite happy with that. Good. There's a little bit of latency on the laptop, but at least the footage on the video capture on the VGA monitor is in time with what I'm typing on the Amiga's keyboard. Good. I think this is a win. Let's stop that recording. This is the footage I've captured on my laptop. If you have a closer look at this, you'll see the resolution isn't quite there. It's not as sharp as I would like. So I think I'm going to need to play around with some of the settings, either on the OSSC or on the Amiga itself. I've got to take into account that this video signal is going through a lot of cables and a lot of splitters and a lot of adapters. So there's got to be some compensation for that. But while it's not perfect, it is perfectly acceptable for, you know, screen capture and conveying what is going on the screen in a video. So I'm happy to a degree, just needs a little bit of fine tuning, and that'll be a job that I will get on with at some point soon. And there we go, got it working. Check it out, video from the Amiga onto the VGA display and onto the laptop for recording, all coming in through all these cables. I've got such a job to do now in tidying all this lot up. If you could see behind the camera and on the floor, there's rubbish everywhere. There's a drawer unit I've got to put back together. So much stuff to do, but this is part of the hobby, and this is why we do it, and this is why we love it. It's about getting these old machines working with modern technology so we can enjoy them even more. It's fantastic. I love it. Right, thank you ever so much for watching this. The next video is going to be an Amos tutorial video, I promise. The program's already written. I've just got to now capture all that footage, which I can do because I have the laptop connected ready for recording. So thank you for watching this. If you enjoy my channel and what I do, please subscribe, like this video if it's been of some use to you. If you've got any comments about what I've done, please leave them in the comments section down below. Reach out to me via my website, or on Twitter or Mastodon, whatever works for you. Thank you for watching, take care of yourself, and until the next time, keep it retro.